We are off on one of the great American road trips from Las Vegas to Los Angeles.
Yeah, we're going right through the desert, but we're gonna make a lot of stops. You can take this trip in about 4 hours, or you can double or even triple that amount of time, but it's well worth it. A lot of these places are very unique, interesting, awesome places. So y'all come along for the adventure.
Come along. First stop on the trip is the Seven Magic Mountains.
Yeah, this is only like 12 miles outside of Las Vegas. Nice, quick, easy trip out here to see the mountains. The huge, colorful art display is smack in the middle of the desert. It's only about 10 miles southeast of the Vegas Strip. The mountains are made of boulders stacked about 35 feet high. Someone has even created a mini Seven Magic Mountain display here as well. After you leave the Seven Magic Mountains, you might as well fill up at the world's largest Chevron gas station. Known as Terrible's Gas Station, it is located in Jean, Nevada. Jean actually has a population of 0, but about 55,000 people drive by here every day. So someone figured, why not build a huge 96-pump gas station with a 50,000 square foot interior? It opened in the summer of 2018.
The next stop on our trip is the Pioneer Saloon.
There's a ton of history with this place. It opened in 1913. There are actually bullet holes still in the walls from battles in the past. Also, there's a big story about Clark Gable here. When his wife died in the mountains nearby, he was inside the Pioneer Saloon. He actually came to the saloon after hearing of the crash and waited 3 days in the bar for news of his wife Carol Lombard's fate. He spent the 3 days drunk, inconsolable, and devastated, eventually learning his wife had died in the crash.
You may be wondering why our next stop is a casino.
That's because there's something very interesting inside. The bullet-riddled death car of Bonnie and Clyde. And there's a sign letting us know right here at the front, yes, this is the original, authentic Bonnie and Clyde death car. They have Bonnie and Clyde here, weapons in hand. Wow, look at this. Front window, you can see the glass all torn up. Apparently the law officers of the law staked out a spot where they had heard Bonnie and Clyde were coming. They stayed there all night. About 9 o'clock the next morning, they were about ready to give up when they heard the engine of this vehicle approaching down the road. The officers had multiple types of weapons. They began firing immediately. First, killing Clyde with a shot to the head. Bonnie could be heard screaming. And then they turned their guns toward her. They emptied apparently all of their weapons, even though that obviously wasn't necessary, but I guess they had been shot before and survived. You can see the bullet holes all through the car here. Just hundreds of them.
Our next stop is Alien Fresh Jerky.
Yeah, it looks like you have an alien growing out of your head.
Woohoo! Exciting!
Ah! Yeah, it's Alien Fresh Jerky, and they are also in the process of building a UFO hotel right back there. Seems like it's coming along pretty good. No word on when the UFO hotel may open, but we'll have to come back and check it out when it does. Well, hello there. How are you guys doing today? Welcome, aliens. Alien Fresh Jerky. Look at all the aliens in here. They're everywhere. Uh-oh, they've even turned our president into an alien. It's Alien Trump.
Our next stop is to check out the world's tallest thermometer.
Yeah, this thing is 134 feet tall. That's because the record temperature in Death Valley back in 1913 July was 134 degrees. The thermometer weighs almost 77,000 pounds. A local businessman paid $700,000 in 1991 to have it built, but strong winds broke it in half shortly after it was built. So it was rebuilt stronger and better.
Our next stop is the Mad Greek Cafe.
Yeah, it's about lunchtime. Good time to check out the Mad Greek. Grab a euro. The sign out front lets us know we're 6,348 miles from Athens, Greece, 93 miles from Vegas, and 110 miles from Death Valley.
Looks delicious. Up next is is to take a trip down to Xxyzx Road.
And you can check out the Xxyzx Mineral Springs and Healing Center here in the Mojave Desert of California. You have to head several miles in the middle of nowhere on a rough, narrow road to find the abandoned town of Xxyzx. A quack doctor by the name of Curtis Springer opened the Xxyzx Mineral Springs here around 1944. He claimed to be a reverend and a doctor, but he never went to college or medical school. He claimed there were natural hot springs of mineral water here, but actually the water was being heated by a hidden boiler. He took advantage of many people, mainly senior citizens, hoping for the healing power of the springs of Xxyzx.
The next stop is at the first ever Del Taco restaurant.
Yeah, this is the site where the first one opened. It's now a place called Burger Den, but this is where Del Taco got its start. The first ever Del Taco opened here in 1961. Mexican fast food was a brand new thing in the U.S. at the time. This location at first only sold 19-cent tacos, 24-cent cheeseburgers, fries, and tostadas. It then added burritos in its second year.
Our next stop is Peggy Sue's Diner.
Yes, Peggy Sue's was built in 1954. When it opened, it only had 3 booths and 9 stools at the counter. Obviously, it's grown a lot since then. It was also built with railroad ties and mortar. It came from the Union Pacific Railroad, which was nearby. But even if you're not hungry, you might want to stop here anyway, because there's something pretty cool in the back where we're headed now. Dinosaurs!
We're over here checking out the dinosaurs and the gorilla.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's one of the dinosaurs, and there's a warning sign down here. It says, "Please don't feed the dinosaurs." Peggy Sue's 50s Diner.
Our next stop is Calico Ghost Town.
Yeah, it was founded back in the 1800s, 1881. It was a silver mining town. They've restored it to look like it did back in the 1800s. Calico was founded in 1881. There are still several original buildings from that time on site, and the rest of the town has been restored to make it look how it did back then. Here we've got the bucket brigade for fire only. So if there's a fire in the town, of course, come over here, grab these fire buckets, fill them up with water, go try to put the fire out. Here we see the railroad tracks into the town that have now fallen apart. There's still a beautiful view of the mountains behind them.
Our next stop is Barstow Station.
On Route 66 in Barstow, California.
Woohoo!
When you enter into this train car here, you'll find yourself inside a McDonald's. See, you found a new friend.
I did. Old Ronald McDonald. Our next stop is the oldest Del Taco restaurant.
Yeah, this is the oldest one in the whole world. It's right here in Barstow, California. We've shown you the original. Now we show you the oldest. Here's a timeline of the Del Taco restaurant history. And right over here, you can order up your favorite Mexican food.
The next stop is the historic site of the first ever McDonald's.
Yeah, I can't wait to get in there. They have a museum inside. Let's go check it out.
Come on.
Out front is this early McDonald's sign advertising the 15-cent burgers.
Hey guys, you think I could eat this massive burger? Bet I can.
Here's some cups and shirt that were worn in the fast food empire movie. This is an electric fry basket that was actually tested by the McDonald brothers. And a 1950s potato press cutter.
Next up is Barstow Centennial Park.
There's not a whole lot to see here, but you can get your picture made on top of a military tank.
Our next stop is the Mormon Rocks.
And these rocks are actually created by sandstone. The San Andreas Fault runs right through here. And over the years, the San Andreas Fault caused the sandstone to rise up out of the ground. Back in 1849, Mormon settlers came through here and set up camp for a while as they began their search for gold during the gold rush. The rocks were apparently named after them.
Up next is the California Route 66 Museum located in Victorville.
Yeah, it's closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and the hours vary the other days of the week, so be sure to check online before you head over here to check it out.
Give me the power sign. Yeah. Angela freaking Davis. Power to the people. Power to... Oh, God.
Yeah.
The Archies came on the back of a cereal box. And what you had to do And this is before the wax paper. You dumped everything out on the table or a bowl. You got the stiffener out. You tore the RT record off the back of the box, and then you put Elmer's glue on the top of the stiffener, and then put the record on top of that, and then put a book or an iron on there, and then 24 hours later, you could play the record.
Wow.
And then he said over here,
The calculator, 1964.
1964 calculator was apparently $1,000
Yes.
when it first came out.
Because that was like an iPhone now.
up next on our list is Emma Jean's Hallenberger Cafe.
Yeah, this was actually used in the movie Kill Bill Volume 2. The bride, played by Uma Thurman, was dead, buried, and all that across the street. She came back to life, came up out of the ground, walked across the street right here, walked straight through here, right into the front door, had a seat in the chair there and said, "May I have some water, please?" The cafe opened on Route 66 in 1947. It still looks the same as it did in the movie.
Up next is the Mojave River Steel Bridge.
It's a unique bridge. It's located between the cities of Victorville and Oro Grande. Some people also refer to it as the Oro Grande Bridge. Since it goes over the Mojave River at an angle, the steel girders come together in strange ways. It's the only bridge like this that Route 66 crosses over in California.
Up next is Elmer's Bottle Tree Ranch.
This place is very cool. Elmer made all this stuff himself. He designed all this stuff, put it all up over the years. It's become a very popular tourist attraction. Unfortunately, Elmer passed away in June of 2019. They closed the ranch down for a while, and his family said it would have been Elmer's wishes for people to still be able to come check out the ranch, so they have now reopened the ranch. Elmer had helped his father find glass bottles all over the desert as a child. When his father died, the collection was left to Elmer, so he decided to start making bottle trees out of them. He left behind hundreds of them here in the desert of Oro Grande, California, when he died.
We are now at the Desert Discovery Center.
This is in the Mojave Desert in Barstow, California. They have the Old Woman meteorite in there, the second largest meteorite ever found in the United States. But you see the red around the white here, that's saying COVID has shut them down for now. Now, we were here when they were open, had some video, but we lost it. I don't know what happened to it. But we'll show you a little bit around here anyway from the outside.
Check it out.
And when they're open, there are many educational opportunities for children here at the center.
Our next stop is the Wigwam Motel.
Have you ever stayed in a concrete teepee before? Well, you can, right here. Welcome, Route 66 travelers. Have you slept in a wigwam lately? And here, there are multiple wigwams to choose from for you to sleep in on your travels.
We hope you enjoyed checking out all the awesome, exciting sights on the way to Los Angeles from Las Vegas.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to check out all these places. There's so many unique and cool places on this road trip. If you guys ever take the road trip, maybe extend it out into 2 days. On the way to Los Angeles, check out half of them. On the way back, check out half of them. But it makes the road trip so much more exciting when you get to stop and check out all these unique, fun places. Y'all be sure to hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can come along with us on future adventures.
Come along.